Live the call. Well, welcome, guys. I'm so excited. You guys are all here. Tonight's call, the title is "This is a Lifestyle." If you're taking notes, write that down. This is a lifestyle. What does that mean? What am I referring to? I've got three things I'm going to share with you, and it's all going to tie into why we're here inside of the platform, why we're connected in this community, and really this can be expanded, this can be connected to every other area of your life because it's a mindset, it's a heart posture, it's a perspective, it's a spirit that we live by. And I'm going to share a few things on this call that I think will be helpful. And then of course, any questions you guys have, if we have some time at the end, we can do that as well. But I want to hear from y'all. You can type it in the chat. Genuinely, honestly, maybe even transparently, some of y'all already kind of shared it in the chat, but how are you feeling? How is everyone feeling right now, with the state of just everything in the world going on? Maybe not just in the economy and the geopolitical state, but maybe just personally, how are you feeling? How have y'all been? I feel like I haven't seen, and if you can turn your camera on, turn your camera on. I want to see y'all's faces. You see mine, I want to see yours. I feel like I haven't seen you guys in a hot minute. We haven't had like an official call in about a month. I got sick and I was traveling and we had a bunch of things in between. So just really want to kind of get a temperature. How are y'all doing? Genuinely, let me see. Let me see. I know. Oh, Crystal's on the call. She's feeling amazing, incredible. Alex says, I'm excited. Jake is feeling good. I love to hear it. I love to hear it. And it's okay if maybe you're not feeling those things. We can feel the feeling, but we want to be very mindful and cautious about becoming the feeling, especially if it's fleeting. You know what I mean? Like fleeting stuff. We can feel the way that we feel, but it's very important that we recognize what, if we're becoming that feeling that we're feeling, especially if it's not serving us, if it's not going to help us. So I just wanted to kind of gauge, where are we at? So this call, this is a lifestyle. I'm going to give you three things that I think are going to help with your perspective. I think it's going to help with your endurance in this race, in this marathon, in this pursuit, that you guys are all here, and you can apply this to trading, investing, business, doesn't matter, anything in your life, because this is, I believe, the things that you're doing here, it's not just a temporary fix, it's not a quick get rich quick type of thing. It is a forever thing. The things that you're doing here, the decisions that you're making have a ripple effect, not just about you, but your family, your children, your children's children, the extension of the people in your life. You have a ripple effect on what happens. And I want us to embody the mentality of not just doing things out of the behavior, like I have to do things from a behavior modification place. And I'll get into what I mean when I say that. Like I'm not just willfully, forcefully putting myself, like getting myself to do things. I'm doing it because it's who I am. And that's where my identity is stemmed from. And we'll talk about it right now. And again, this is going to translate to having success and profitability in your trading and all the things that I know you guys are here to do. Okay. So, number one, this is a lifestyle. Number one point is keep the main thing the main thing. Keep the main thing the main thing. What does that mean? What does that mean? In a world where information is so easy, so accessible, there's opinions and headlines and you know distractions and deception and temptation and so many things that our eyes can see. It is so easy for us to get off track, to not keep the main thing the main thing. And so my first kind of message for you here tonight is simple as it sounds, as cliche as it sounds. Let's bring common sense back to the equation. Is let's stay focused. It's so easy to get distracted right now, and it's kind of in a way never been easier to win, if you will, because of how easy everyone is getting tempted and distracted and falling off of the way, of the pursuit that they're on. All we need to be is discipline, and it's easy to be deceived when you're still operating out of fear in doubt. I have caught myself so many times over. I don't know if y'all can relate, where I just literally saw myself, like literally bird's eye view, saw myself coming from a place where everything that I did, my default response was from a place rooted in fear and doubt and worry. And just almost like playing defense. And that's how I showed up. That's how I operated. And you just don't grow when you're operating from that place. You're not able to thrive. You're not able to grow, and you're definitely not able to make progress and really just kind of operate in your authentic self. And so you want to be really mindful. Am I getting distracted? Am I being deceived on what I should be doing and not be doing because I'm operating from a place of fear and doubt and worry? How's my mindset? How's my heart posture? How is the spirit that I'm operating from? And I think this is really important. I'm going to tie this back to trading and investing because we all have, we're plugging into the platform. We're watching our educators. We hopefully have a plan for ourselves, a trading plan and a portfolio plan, or if you don't already, or you're in the process of establishing that. It's really, really, if you haven't learned this already, by either your own mistakes or just from the repetition of the educators, you got to keep your emotions out of your plan. With so many things happening, I mean, with this new presidency, I mean, there's executive order after executive order and speech after speech. So many things are happening rapidly. It's like I feel like there's so many things that are happening so quickly. It's really hard to keep up. It's like as you're trying to make a post about something, something else is already happening, and it's so easy to just kind of fall into that rabbit hole of all the just really the noise. And your emotions getting heightened, and that honestly is a distraction as well because it's causing you to not follow through on the things that you said you were going to do. So keeping your emotions out of your plan. I know it seems really common sense and simple, but how often do we find ourselves being emotional when it comes to trading, being emotional when it comes to looking at the market, checking our portfolios, every hour of the day, every other day? I can be honest with you guys, I haven't checked my portfolio in God knows how long, in a long time. And I just know where the market's at. I don't need to play with myself in that arena. So just being mindful of that, keeping your feelings and out of your decision making and thinking critically, thinking logically. I know, again, common sense, really simple, but it's in the moment these things really matter. And just recognizing maybe I'm validating something on somebody for somebody on tonight's call that, hey, you've got to be mindful of these things. And another thing I want to share with you guys, I heard this on one of the sessions recently, but there's no need to panic. I know that that's why I kind of wanted to ask how everybody's doing, how's everybody feeling, because there is a lot of volatility in the markets. There's a lot of things happening in the world right now, and again, it's easy to fall astray. It's easy to get caught in the wrong. Listening to the wrong voices. And that's why we have a platform of educators that have been vetted, that, have documentation of past, historical documented records of like what they've been doing, and we can learn from them. We can trust them, and we can have a community and a space where we can talk about these things. And so there's no need to panic. Know the game that you're in. Know the game that you're a part of. That we're just a tiny fish in this big ocean, and we get to go get our piece. And our piece doesn't need to be hundreds of millions of dollars. It can maybe be, for you in your situation, it's an extra $1,000 a month. It's not even that. It's literally just multiplying your money and you doing that gradually over time. That's what's going to really set you up for success and that freedom that we're all looking for. And so regardless of what is happening out there, know your plan, know your rules, know your targets, know your risk tolerance. I can sleep at night because I'm not over leveraged. How many of y'all amen to that? I can sleep at night because I'm not over leveraged. I know the nights, the sleepless nights, the nights I couldn't fall asleep because I was over leveraged on a trade. I was over leveraged in my portfolio. I shouldn't have been in things that I was in things I shouldn't have been in, right? I can be at peace today with myself. With myself. Can you be at peace with yourself and the decisions that you've made or haven't made and the state of the markets, because I'm not attached to the outcomes. I'm not attached to the opinions of other people. I'm not my self-esteem, my self-worth, my ability to create change and operate from a new place isn't dependent on what somebody else is doing. I don't follow the herd or the crowd. I know my reasons and I stick with them and I adjust accordingly. But I'm not attached to opinions. I'm not attached to headlines. I'm not attached to volatility or the money I have at play. Did you guys know the money that you have in your trading account, the money that you have in your portfolio right now, however, whatever that dollar amount is, it's I look at it as it's not mine. Like it is mine because I'm managing it, but it's not mine in the sense of I understand that I could lose it all. I don't believe that, but I've accepted the fact that this is money that is not mine. It's money in my mind that's gone. I'm just managing it, and how well I manage it is really dependent on how well I manage myself. And I'm going to kind of get into um, just some perspective on that. But again, this is just a framework. This is just some mindset stuff and perspective that I really believe is going to help you thrive, not just here, but in everything that you do in other areas of your life. And so, Alex, I think she was saying it the other day. She watches a lot of, if you guys know Jordan Morgan on the platform on Go Live. She said something the other day was so like just really stood out to me is don't let the geopolitical atmosphere like and again the opinions that you see influence or override your decisions. Don't allow what you see with your eyes to affect what you see in the spirit. Don't allow what you see with your eyes, which we are seeing things all day long, affect what you see up here in your mind in the spiritual realm. We walk by faith, not by sight. Your level, I'll tell you guys, I've seen this from just conversations and interactions and just over the last several years, time and time again, your level of maturity and patience and character and your integrity will be tested and revealed during times of uncertainty. Who you are, if you're taking notes, write this down. Who you are will be exposed during times of chaos and uncertainty. I don't think we've even seen the brunt of it yet. I don't even think like people realize what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen. I just believe that we haven't even seen the beginning of what's going to happen when it comes to chaos and news and social media posts and people and this and that and blah blah blah. You've got to in the times that you are like not in that chaotic event or uncertainty or whatever it may be, that is your time to prepare. That is your time to sharpen your edge, which if you've been plugging in, we've been here. Today is day one, maybe for you, or resetting. This is your time to get prepared. This is your time to get yourself back at the foot, of the fire. Put yourself around the campfire. Get plugged in and recognize the seriousness of what we have in front of us. And I can tell you this run, this last 2021 bull run was life changing at the time for me, like monetarily wise. But I can tell you this run, like, is going to be, if all said and done, will be like life changing. And I'm excited because a lot of you guys have been here for quite some time now. And a lot of you guys, this is your first kind of exposure to something like this. And you're going to get a taste of what you need to prepare for moving forward, how you can adapt and adjust to really set yourself up for success. And this is a long game. This is not the end all be all. This isn't like I'm going to collect my money and dip. Like you've got to really develop yourself so you can sustain and steward and scale what you're trying to build for the long haul. So I just wanted to say that when it's all said and done, who you really are is what's going to rise to the surface. That's what's going to be revealed. That's what's going to be tested. And you got to constantly be working on yourself, not just what you're doing, but like who you actually are. You can really see who a person is by the way that they handle themselves under pressure. Type a 2 in the chat if y'all can relate. You can really see who a person is by how they handle themselves under pressure, how you respond when things aren't going your way. Maybe some of us on this call right now, and this isn't to everybody. This just if the shoe fits, it fits. I want to help somebody on this call today because that was me at one period of time. But some of us are not winning yet in our life and in the ways that we want to live or when is because we're hanging on to things in the past. We haven't let go of those things. We haven't surrendered those things. There's still, there's still bitterness in our hearts. There's still things that are weighing us down. You still have maybe a bad taste in your mouth, in your heart about things or decisions that you made, maybe mistakes that you've made. And instead of learning from it, we're blaming. We're blaming everything in our path. And instead of getting better from it, it's making you bitter. And that's really what leads me to my next point. And many of you guys have heard me say this multiple times over. You will never hear me say copy paste profit, and it's nothing against that mindset. It's just I understand like that's not sustainable. That doesn't last. That mentality doesn't produce longevity with what it really takes to see results. This is about point number two, personal transformation. You can come in and take signals all day long, but until you really develop yourself, you're just not going to be able to scale what you want to get out of while you're here. So this is a personal transformation, and the most important thing that you and I can do is ensure that we have the right perspective and the correct expectations, the right perspective and the correct expectations for what this really is. I want all of us to be set up for success. I want all of us to have the right expectations for what this is. And I'm going to give you an example and stick with me here. I want to kind of give you some just how it relates to if you're walking with Christ, for example, if you have a relationship with Jesus and you're on that walk of faith. I just want to give a quick example because I believe that God is literally in everything, and the way that you do one thing is the way that you do everything. And so I just want to give this perspective and take it for what it is. But I like to equate this to our walk with God. And so I'll give you an example. Okay, when you get started, when you do this journey here, you want to learn how to trade, you want to build a portfolio, the whole nine. I'm going to give you some expectation points. Okay, are you okay with delayed results until you've become the person that can sustain and steward those results? Are you okay with putting in hours of mundane work, boring, you would say, work day after day, month after month, year after year, and still maybe questioning, is this really going to work or not? Are you okay with enduring loss after loss after loss, losing more than you win? Because I'm going to tell you right now, you watch Patrick Kenny, you watch Mike Navarrete, you watch Jay Awal, you watch any of these guys on the platform, they will tell you like the power in trading, you can get to a point where almost you're like unshakable. Like you are literally unstoppable when you can lose more, like you get to a point where you can lose more than you win, like you are literally destined for success because okay, let me just continue. We're so fixated on I gotta win, and it's not until you learn how to lose well that you can win forever. Okay. Are you okay with enduring loss after loss after loss? Are you okay with saying no to instant gratification? No to going out on the weekends? And I'm not saying that's all the time. I'm just saying like there's a season, you may be in that season. Choosing discipline over distractions, over temptation, choosing to work on the parts of yourself that you never thought you would have to face up until now. Are you okay with being held accountable in community? Are you okay with showing up and committing to what you said you were going to do? Are you okay with facing the real you, the you that only you and God know? I'm preaching to myself as well. Are you okay with dealing with that version of you that has kept you right where you are your whole life, the last 5 years, whatever? Because if you are, welcome to this journey. Welcome to trading. Welcome to investing. Welcome to the journey of transformation. See, I believe this is the conversation people need to have. I'm not everybody. I'm just telling you right now. I believe that this is the conversation people need to have. The right expectations. You want to be here, not just for a good time, but a long time. You want to be here. You got to have the right expectations for what it looks like to like actually see success, actually see results with trading and investing. And this is not just here, this is in anything that you set out to do. Greatness, excellence, real change, different results require you to change. We all know this, right? And I want to read this really quick to you. One of the verses from Matthew in the Bible, Matthew chapter 7, verse 13 and 14. Okay, it says, enter through the narrow gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the road that leads to destruction, and many enter through it. What am I saying? What am I saying? Enter through the narrow gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the road that leads to destruction. The wide gate leads to destruction. Many enter through that gate. How small is the gate and the narrow road that leads to life? How small is the gate, the narrow road that leads to life? Only a few find it. What am I referring to? One thing that I have learned in my walk with God is how real, how raw, how honest, how just bring me to my knees, transparent. Like he wants me to be with him. Following Christ, following Jesus, I'm tying this all in, and I hope you guys are getting what I'm trying to say. It's not easy. The average believer doesn't realize what it really means to walk with Jesus. Like it's the narrow road for a reason. And the reason why I say this again is because God is in everything. Why am I tying this into God? Because he is in everything. Following Christ involves suffering. Yes, there's joy. Yes, there's fun. Yes, there's breakthrough. Yes, there's winning. But I don't want us to miss the part I don't want us to miss the part where you will have to endure difficulty. You will have to change your ways. You cannot get new results here without first changing the old version of you first. Are you still impatient? Are you still greedy? Do you still carry a bad attitude? Do you still show up only when it's convenient? Do you still make the same excuses? You know, your lack of growth and honesty with yourself is something that you must deal with. That's something that I must deal with. And I'll tell you just from experience and really, really hard experience, I believe confession is one of the most powerful things that you can do when you go to someone that you can trust. And I'm not saying you need to do it on a group call like this. You don't need to shout it out in the Zoom or in the Telegram chat, but find some community here, like network. One of the things that Patrick Kenny on his session, I asked him a question on his live session he had today on the Forex side. And I asked him, I said, hey, what would you say to the, to the student here from your perspective? How would you maximize this membership? And I loved his response. Not just because I love Patrick Kenny, but because it was just truth. It just made sense. And he said the biggest benefit you have from being a part of a platform like this, specifically Eovia, is the fact that you get community. Is the fact that you have live sessions where you get to see things in real time, and as you're going through it, like whatever it is, whatever the thing that you're working on, you're dealing with, you're developing, you literally get to ask questions in real time. He said that chat box, that chat room is like your pot of gold. It's like your pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. That thing is the most underused, underrated, undervalued thing that the platform has is the live sessions where you get example after example after example, real time, like I'm going to show you exactly like what to do and how to do it and the perspective to have as you're doing it, the why, the purpose. But you also, he said, you get to network in there. Take this thing off, offline, whatever that may look like. And so I'm just sharing with you guys this can be so much bigger than sometimes we may think and have in our heads. But I just wanted to share that with you. The live sessions are very powerful. I try my best to jump on at least one live session a day. And if it just doesn't work out, then I will catch the replay. But I really try to get on that live session because I like to interact. I like to ask questions. I like to see things in real time as I'm doing them as well. So I know I'm going on a little bit of a tangent, but I just wanted to share that with you because this is so important that we recognize the journey at hand and like what this really is. I know when I first got started, I was pitched the idea that you're going to quit your job in like 30 days, 60 days. And that was just a bunch of BS, like just setting me up for failure and thinking I was just an idiot for signing up for this thing. And so glad that just continue to stay and recognize like what this actually is and didn't let just someone that didn't know what they were talking about deter me from actually growing and seeing success. And just recognizing like, hey, like this is a journey. This isn't about just like quitting my job as fast as possible or whatever. Like I love how the educators say, I know I'm going on a tangent. This is the last point I'll make on this part, and then I'll move to step three. But I just love how the educators say, like Patrick Kenny specifically said this on one of his sessions, and he was like, the way that you should look at your trading is like this is a way to like multiply your money. Like don't look at trading as anything else other than just at least in the beginning, your first year, few years, to be honest, as a way to just multiply your cash, just a way to compound your money. Because I can tell you, like when you get to that point where you do have thousands, tens of thousands of dollars in your trading account, you can use that money to invest in bulk and other things. And so I think we're so quick to quit our job and all these things. And like, that's a great goal. And I understand my dad just retired on Friday and he was like, you need to hurry up and retire, blah, blah, blah. It's the best. And I'm like, I'm working on it, Dad. And so I get it. But at the same time, like, I want to keep things practical for us. We can have big goals, big dreams, and aspirations, and that's amazing. That's important. But keep the main thing. Recognize that this is a personal transformation that you must go through, which kind of really leads me to my last point, and that is stack wins, baby. Stack wins, brick by brick. Every day, man. What am I talking about? What do I mean? Every day I am stacking wins. I have an idea of where I'd like to be in a year from now or 5 years from now. You know, we all have kind of an idea or a plan or an outline of, you know, how we want our life to be, said years, said time frame or down the road. But after I kind of write it down or, you know, whatever, I have practiced giving it to God. This is what I would like to be, where I would like to be, what I'd like to do. But as we know, we make our plans and he directs our steps. So I just give it to him and I focus on the day. And what does that look like? Like practically every day, what does that look like for you and I to just be here for the long run, man? It's a lifestyle. This is the attitude. This is the mindset. This isn't just something you do, to you are. It's a lifestyle. It's a forever thing. When it comes to my health, when it comes to my wealth, you name it, my relationships, I don't think about it with this one track mind. And like, I don't look at it like that. I look at it from the sense of like, I'm going to be doing this forever. I may not be trading when I'm like 80, but what I do today is going to affect where I'm at when I am 80, God willing, right? So I want momentum. This is my last point. I want momentum. Positive winning momentum. How do you do that? Stacking wins. You define what it means to win. What is success? I'll shortcut it for you. It took me a really long time to kind of get to this framework and understanding, and who knows if it's going to click for somebody here tonight. But I believe that success and to win really is the pursuit of what is worthy and meaningful to you. It's the pursuit itself within God's will for your life. It's the little things. It's doing the little things every day. You kind of defining, outlining what those little things are that are going to get you closer to where you think you'd like to be down the road. Your next goal, your next target, whatever the case is. And so it's more than just checking off a box. It's again, I'm being redundant here, but repetition is the mother of all skill. It is who you are, baby. I do these things because it's who I am. I don't show up to go live because it's just something I should probably do. It's probably something I should do, but I show up because it's who I am. I'm disciplined. I show up. I'm consistent. I show up. Like I'm all these characteristics because it's who I am. That's how I identify. And that's something that you will go through, you will endure through this process of transformation if you allow yourself. If you surrender the old you and you work on the version that I believe that God has for you. And I believe that he is in everything. And I believe if you're here, you are able to grow through this journey in whatever way and fashion. And again, you know, that journey is going to look different for everyone, but I can do that. I'm not going through my days willing myself, forcing myself to take action. I know the greater vision, you know, the greater purpose on your life. and you're having a heart posture to serve and be an example, this isn't just about me. I'm showing up with the intent of not just not just helping myself, but how can I help the people around me? How can I raise the ships? How can I raise the community? We started recently, like very like not very recently, but within the last 3 months, volunteering more at our church, and it made me like really look at the body of Christ so differently, and just how one person represents the body itself. And I look at it like this, we represent each other. You impact me and I impact you. And I think when we can take seriously the example that we are and the example that we set, and just you, like, as cliche as it sounds, it's true. You matter, you make a difference, you have the ability to encourage, which I think is one of the best characteristics about somebody. Is if you can be an encourager all day long, I want you around me. All day long, I want you in my corner, I want you in my circle. I want you in my life, if you are an encourager and naturally just want to uplift people. And we have the opportunity to do that. So, the last thing I just wanted to share with you guys, if you haven't seen it already, I just want to make sure you can catch it before it gets removed. The live sessions are obviously recorded, but they do get deleted, I think, after like 2 months, or a month and a half, whatever it is, a month worth of sessions. But Patrick Kenny on the crypto side, write these dates down: on the 19th, February 19th, and February 26th. He did two incredible sessions. Oh my gosh. I recommend you watch the 19th first. He did like a three-part wealth building session. It was phenomenal. If you watch that, like, can you drop like a three or something in the chat if you know what I'm talking about? It was amazing. You need to go watch that. It's not in his favorites. It was just something he did kind of in the spur of the moment. It was amazing. So you should watch that one, and then you should watch the one from last week on Wednesday, the 26th. This is where he literally goes over, he gives you the facts, he gives you all like data driven points. This one was also amazing. He goes through like the first half of the video, basically breaking down the 2021 bull run. So the last time we were in a bull market, like when it went to euphoria, made new all-time highs, all that stuff. He went through that in detail and compared it to where we are now. So good. I highly encourage you to all go watch that. It's on his crypto sessions. He's also on the Forex side, which are also amazing. But get this dialed down, man. Get this dialed down. I have more points, but like other notes, but we'll talk about that at a different time. I just want to make sure that we could get together. I could, again, encourage you guys. Make sure that wherever you're at, it doesn't matter. This is a journey. Don't beat yourself up if you've fallen off. The fact that you're here on a Thursday evening says a lot about who you are and your character as a person, and the fact that you just want to grow, you just want to be better. And I'm proud of you, and I commend you for just continuing to show up in the face of adversity and pain and difficulty and the things that you go through in your personal life. You're doing stuff that's going to make a difference in your life and your family, and we're all here to help, and we just want to continue to make sure you guys are on the right track and have the right expectations to really succeed. So I encourage you to jump in the Telegram sometime throughout the week. Just share maybe who you're watching on the sessions, what you're learning, what you're taking in. Share maybe even some challenges. I can guarantee if you're going through something, somebody else is as well. So with that being said, guys, the next call is going to actually be the last Thursday of this month. So not something next week, not something the following week, but on March 27th. I think we're going to have a time change because the times are changing for everybody else. So look out for the time, but it will be on the 27th Thursday of March is our next call. But I love you guys. Reach out anytime. Hope you guys have a great rest of your evening, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.